Aloha, everybody. Welcome to another episode of our TCH and BYU Hawaii Alumni Podcast. Straight from Hawaii, Laie, Hawaii. Beautiful afternoon here at 3 o'clock. We have a wonderful guest that's going to join us here soon. But I wanted to welcome all of our TCH and BYU Hawaii alumni. Thank you all for joining us today, and our students as well as friends of alumni. Before we get going, I'm gonna just say thank you to all of those that have participated in our podcast thus far. We took a break in August during the summer, and prior to that, we had 5 months of guests who joined us for our alumni podcast on Fridays. So good to restart again, and good to have our guests here today to be able to start all of that again. But before we get going on that, we have just a few announcements. We have an upcoming event, and it's a CCH BYU Hawaii Utah Alumni Gathering and Educational Workshop that we're going to have there in Utah in a couple of weeks. So on September 18th, we will be there to be able to do that. And the flyer here shows some of us that will be participating. I will be there with Chad Ewan, one of our admissions officers. Seamus Fitzgerald, who's a former manager here at the Polynesian Culture Center, who now resides in Utah, as well as one of our students that will be there to help us present some information. So it's going to be on that Saturday, the 18th, at Skyridge High School at 6 p.m. So any of you alumni in Utah would like to join us, please register so that we can get a count of how many people are coming. And if you have any questions, you can always email us at alumni@byuh.edu. So the other item too, we just want to remind everyone to make sure that you are creating or have created your alumni profile or update it. So we want to make sure that you go into ohana.byuh.edu in order to do that, so we can update all of the information. And that way you can keep in touch with all the things that are happening here at BYU Hawaii. You'll get a monthly newsletter. We'll notify you and update you on upcoming events and other things that are happening here, as well as the opportunity for you to connect with other BYU and CCH alumni, friends of alumni, as well as our current students. So that allows you to be able to contact our students without worrying about confidentiality, because anybody that goes into Ohana Network allows you the opportunity to be able to communicate, connect, and do those things. Okay, so we also want to thank those that previously was in the alumni podcast, as I mentioned earlier. I think the last one that we did was Susan and Hiangi Wesley. So we're really grateful for the time that they spent with us. Well, if you ever want to see all of the alumni folks that participated on our podcast for Mentoring Monday, as well as the alumni podcast, you can go to our Facebook as well as Ohana Network and just type in BYU Hawaii alumni, and you'll be able to see the listing of all the individuals that have participated in our podcast and some testimonials about BYU Hawaii and so forth. Okay. Okay, so as we bring on our guests, just a reminder, if any of you would like to share a chat or a comment, you can do so from where you're at. And Lei and our students and those in our back area will be able to share some of those comments for our guest that's coming on board here pretty soon. Okay, so here we go. We'd like to bring on our very special guest today, Brother Meli Lesuma. And he's going to join us here. There he is. Hi, Meli.
Bola Binaka and aloha, Eddie. So good. And friends from throughout the world.
All right. So good to have you, Meli. I've been so privileged and blessed to be able to get to know Meli through the years, and his lovely wife, Irene, and their children and their extended relatives. So so grateful to finally drag him onto the front of the camera to be able to do this. I know he was a little hesitant, but if I can do it, you can do it, Meli. So we're just having a conversation and be able to get to know you better. So this time, Meli, we just want to give you a few minutes to introduce yourself in case somebody out there might not know who you are and those kind of things. So I'll give you a few minutes to do that.
I'm actually very, very happy to be here. As I enter this place this afternoon, it brings back memories because 20 plus years ago, I left here, the alumni office, and I stopped making regular contacts with our brothers and sisters and friends of the university throughout the Pacific, Asia, and the mainland, and other international countries. So I'm really happy and delighted to be back. By way of introduction, I'm Meli Lesuma, originally from Fiji. Came up here to school in 1983. I was not a traditional student. I came up with my wife Irene and 3 little children, and 30-year-old after having served in the police department in Fiji. And we went through school over here, and we had a great time. Of course, we had our youngest born here, who is Elena, and glad that she's also now working here at BYU Hawaii at this time.
Nice. Thank you, Meli. You and I talked a couple of days ago and kind of got to know you a little bit more. I've always known you here in the community, but to hear your stories and your journey to BYU Hawaii was really interesting, and I look forward to having you share that with our audience today. So I'm going to ask you the first question. How did you get to know about BYU Hawaii? So if you want to share that a little bit, I know you got a great story about that whole journey.
Of course, I knew about Hawaii shortly after church, and I joined the church when I was a young man, about 21 years old, and the church was very small in Fiji then. I see Viema over here, her parents, they were some of the original members. Her dad was only a little boy then, but her grandparents were some of the original members over there. And I was contacted and converted to the church, came in, and I heard about BYU Hawaii. Some of the students from Fiji were here, and so it was a steep learning curve about Hawaii, about BYU, and my real introduction to BYU Hawaii came when the BYU Hawaii Showcase came down to Fiji. And as I said, I was in the police department at the time. They were led by President and Sister Shamway, and those lovely dancers and singers here from Hawaii. Now, I've got to learn about Hawaii in what I heard and what I read at the time. But that was the first introduction to BYU Hawaii. I saw them perform at the Old Town Hall there in Suva. I stood way back because it was a very crowded event. I looked at the stage and saw them, and there was something special about those young people. They were radiant. I knew, just a short answer to your question, I knew that they came from a university that was special. And I knew that I was blessed to be associated with this university through the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And of course, the biggest introduction was when I met Irene, and she was the one that actually got me thinking hard about, yeah, we have to go to Hawaii someday. But before we get together, we need to uh, to get you to go on a mission, and we need to get married. And but that is how I got to know about Hawaii.
Wow. So when you found out about BYU Hawaii, Meli, were you a member at that time, or newly convert or something like that? I
I
remember you.
had just joined the church maybe a year earlier, Eddie. So things were pretty new. Like I told you, I knew about the church, and shortly after that, I knew about BYU Hawaii.
Mm. And you said at that time there were the church wasn't there weren't a lot of members at that time around, at least around the area that you were at, yeah.
That's why, well, in all of Fiji it was one district, and so I practically knew more than 50% of all the members in Fiji at the time by name, and I knew them well, and that's why I can remember some of these people, like the Taitos, Viema's parents, and a lot of things have been said about my mother-in-law, who was a pioneer over there. But there were some great members of the church over there. I know the Sokias, and I know the Manuelis, and I know the many different the Udunibaravis and others at the time. We were just a close-knit group over there because we were so small.
Wow, that's great. Now, before you met your wife, you said you were a cadet in the police department, yeah.
I was fortunate to land in the police department. I need to share a little story about how I got there, because I think this is going to come up a little later in our discussion today.
Okay.
At about 14 years old, I I went back to my island in Fiji for Christmas, for the Christmas holidays. That's where my parents were. It was in Taveuni, and so I was happy that they got me some money, so I was able to get up there. And during the Christmas break, I had a lot of fun, as people from the islands know, during the Christmas and New Year's festivities. But there was an incident. We, meaning me and two other boys, took a group of people from another village in a boat. For those who are familiar with Fiji, we went from Somosomo village up to Welangi village, and that was where these folks are from. So on our way back, we had engine trouble in our boat. Right about, for those who are following from Fiji, right about New Sawa Methodist School, we started drifting into the ocean because the engine broke down. And so later on, as it began to get choppy, the sea began to get the boat drifting. Of course, I decided with another boy, David, I think our chances to swim. Our friend, Tuvala, he doesn't seem to know how to put his engine back together. So we started swimming, and that was probably a terrible mistake. It almost cost our lives, because we would never have made it. The sea became rough, and so we got separated. And at one point, I had given up, practically given up. I looked up and I saw the splash on the top. I said, "Am I going to make it up there again?" Because the surf kept burying me into the rough. And as I did that, I remembered I was not LDS then, but I belong to a church that believes a lot in prayers. And If there was a legacy I got from that church, it is that they know how to pray. And the Lord had intervened on my behalf several times. So I said, please, I hope that He will do the same at this time. I prayed, and that was it. I just asked the Lord, please give me a chance to live. If you give me a chance, one more chance, I'm going to try and change my life. I had started doing naughty things at the time in boarding school, and I was not uh, what you would call a model kind of a student. And that was it, friends. I was delivered. I was, the Lord answered that prayer, because the next thing I knew was when I opened my eyes, I saw a group of policemen. They had fished me out of the sea, and I knew I was out because they were trying to revive me, and they were asking me, "Where's Tevita? Which direction or which side was he on when you last saw him?" But fortunately, Tevita was also safe, and we all made it. But you asked me how that influenced my decisions later on. Yeah? So that was always on my mind every time something, a major decision has to be made, because I know that the Lord had saved me from that near-death experience on Somo Strait on that day.
Well, I'm glad that you made it. I'm glad that the police was able to be there to help you and your
And
friend.
that was actually the answer to the question. That's one reason why I joined the police. You know, I owed them so much. There's more to that story and how the police got involved, but I kind of sort of looked up to the police from that day on, because they saved my life.
Wow, that's a wonderful story. A lot of these pivotal moments in our life that happened and caused us to remind us of things that are most important. Yeah.
Yes,
So it's
absolutely.
well, that's wonderful. So even when we were talking a couple of days ago, there were a lot of different things that happened that influenced you to learn more about the church. The acquaintance that you had built with your wife and others that were in the church, and then as you became a member, a lot of members also continued to influence you and to guide you along as you went through those early years as a convert, and then eventually made it over here to BYU Hawaii.
That is so true. You know, I miss those close kinships, those relationships when we were just one district, because everybody really knew each other and looked after each other. You know,
Yeah.
I would have young men come up to me and say, Meli, I know you must be missing your tea and coffee, right? Uh, to be nice to them, I said yes, but actually I didn't miss it that much. But of course, they also said that you also miss your beer and other things. But so they would tell me, you know, there are things that you can drink, you know, like postum. You know, that's who introduced the. I still remember this friend from Oregon, who's in Oregon now, who told me, you know. Don't worry, you know, you can go and buy pasta and you can have that, and it's better than tea and coffee. But it was a very close family kind of relationship that I had, and people were encouraging me because of course, you know, my parents live on another island and I was by myself in Suva, and they looked after me, and I give the greatest credit to Irene, even before we were married. You know, she really helped me to from even the small things. You know, pronouncing names from the Book of Mormon, things like that.
Yeah.
I was so grateful. But Eddie, I think a lot about the scripture that I had used as a theme for our talk today is from DNC 88, which has always impressed me. And, verse 63 of that scripture, it talks about, I use the one in the middle: seek me diligently, and ye shall find me. Ask, and ye shall receive. Knock, and it shall be open unto you. But it starts with this draw near unto me, and I will draw near unto you. Now, maybe I didn't know that scripture right off when I joined the church, but I had been practicing that, and I knew that it had helped me a lot. Of course, why shouldn't I when my life was saved? Because I drew near unto the Lord, or that I sought the Lord diligently. And so that has always been a testimony to me. And later, when I was here at BYU, I was called as a bishop, and I always make it a point to emphasize that to any out there who was in the same situation I was in, who may be uh, trying to decide the answer to a certain question, or that was uh, in some kind of uh, trouble, or who had concerns about their education and about their family back home. I always refer them to that scripture. And that was a great comfort.
That's a great scripture, Meli. That's one that we hear often. We should always look back at that to remind of us of those things that are important to us and priority to us. So thank you for sharing that. Now, I know when you came to BYU, you were an older student when you had come. I know when we talked about that. And it's interesting in your journey where it has taken you. You came through and you had a good career, a career path at the police station there, or the department there in Fiji. You were looking to move up to some good opportunities, but yet there were things that were being prompted to you a different direction to be able to go to, and to be able to go not only to get your education, but to also gain other experiences, other knowledge, skills, and abilities that helped you in later parts of your life. So I'm going to jump to this PowerPoint presentation that we have. And I think this is, can you see the picture there, Meli?
I remember that picture very well. That is one of our former vice presidents here, a very good friend of people from the islands, Nolan Reed. Well, Nolan Reed led a delegation. Well, actually, President Shumway was also in the group, but we split up. President Shumway went with a group of alumni folks from BYU Provo, and if I'm not mistaken, Chun James, who was the president of the Alumni Association then, was also there. And Nolan Reed and I, with the other group from Provo, we went to Japan and China to set up combined chapters over there that will serve both the BYU Hawaii and BYU Provo alumni. That was a great trip, and I've always looked back to the relationships that were forged on that trip with Brother Reed and the folks from Provo.
Oh, that's wonderful. Brother Reed, yeah, one of the many roles that he did here at BYU Hawaii was the one I have now, being able to work with applications and alumni. And we're grateful to be able to follow his and many others that work in this office that I'm currently in, and Lake Cummings and many of us that are continuing the mission and the responsibilities here at the BYU Hawaii.
But
Now,
Eddie, that trip was, I only highlighted that because it was to Japan and to China and to Korea. But the greatest success I had during my time here with alumni was interfacing and coordinating uh, and relating with alumni throughout the Pacific and throughout Asia and the mainland, especially Utah and Washington State. I just felt um, very en- uh, enabled and buoyed up when I go and feel the spirit and of love and aloha and loyalty that this alumni had for our campus. And I'm referring to both the CCH, Church College of Hawaii alumni, and the BYU Hawaii alumni. There's just so much love out there by this alumni. And like I said, that was the highlight of my time over here in the alumni office, being able to uh, reconnect with those wonderful people who have been through this school.
right. And then this other picture shows you there with the group that you just mentioned that traveled to Asia,
That
and
was in China,
with
yes,
yeah,
Beijing. I was very
Beijing.
fortunate. My first and only time to China was with those folks, and Nolan Reed is probably the one taking the picture. But we were greeted by several alumni and people who have heard about BYU Hawaii, and I hear that that number has grown considerably since then.
Yeah. Well, that's wonderful. We are so fortunate, meaning us that work here in the department that are able to travel to the Pacific and Asia and to the mainland to see our alumni contributing, not only in their stakes and awards, but in their community, in education, in their employment, in government, and so on and so forth. Seeing the mission moving forward that President David O. McKay has put forth for all of us. So it's so nice to be able to do that. And definitely the alumni is a big contributor to that success as we go out to the road and be able to work with prospective students and our alumni.
Eddie, I always maintain, and I still do, that Church College of Hawaii, originally and now BYU Hawaii, was really established for alumni. Of course, the students would come over here, but I'm sure as we read the signature statement by our patron saint, President David O. McKay, he was referring to alumni when he said, from this school will go men and women whose influence for good will be felt internationally. And I know that he was talking about alumni. And so that's why this office is so important and critical. And that is why I enjoy the opportunity to touch base with alumni everywhere, because it is our opportunity to reconnect with them, to keep that energy flowing, to keep that connection strong, because education here was only the first part. They are now doing the closing chapters of what a BYU or a CCH experience has to offer. And that is serving their families and serving the communities through leadership and through service.
Right. Well, you have done so much since you were here as a student, and then when you graduated, you continue to contribute here in the university community, in alumni and various other roles that you have, as well as a bishop and so forth. in those early years, I remember you telling me about those days when you were the student body president. And these pictures kind of show some of the things that you were involved in as you participated in the exchange of the presidents here on the picture, as well as some of the things that you did as the student body president. Can you talk a little bit more about some of your fondest memories there and things that you've done?
This really brings back very special memories. Looking at these pictures. Yes, I was fortunate to be voted as they call them the ASBYU president leadership, but basically just student body president. Uh, and we had so much fun uh, setting up activities and opportunities for our students over here to enjoy and to grow socially and physically, and especially academically and spiritually. Uh, I thought that was a great learning experience for me personally. To know about this special young people that the Lord has sent to this university, that uh, are here to be prepared for major roles in their lives, wherever that will lead them. And so I happened to be, for 1 year, a BYUH president and BYU student body president. That young lady in the bottom right is a sister from France, Sister Brigitte Besson. She was my vice president, and we were a great partnership because we knew each other from Fiji. She served her mission in Fiji before she came over here. Wow. And she ended up marrying a boy from Fiji too, Terence Hussein. And we had the representatives in our team from all over. Now, on the right, in the black and white, is I was fortunate during my time as student body president to witness the inauguration of President Alton Wade. So you will not even recognize me on that picture. I'm that number 3. You'll remember, you'll notice Elder Holland. He was there in his role as the BYU president. And there was the FAC, or the faculty representative, Brother Pearson, who worked in the, I believe, psychology department. And he came back as a missionary also and worked in counseling services. And that's me. You'll not recognize me because after that, I changed my hairdresser, and so I look so much different today. But yeah, the years have taken its toll on the facial hair. And I am trying to recall the name of
is that Brother Howard Lua?
Howard Lua, that's right, yeah. That yes. Is the late Brother Howard Lua, yes.
Yes.
And it was a joyous occasion to say hello and welcome President Alton Wade, who also became a great president to the university.
Wow, that's wonderful. Looking at this picture, you were among some very important people.
Oh yes, that's one of the joys of serving in that position. They get you to rub shoulders with future apostles, and well, there was President. As you see the bottom picture over there, that picture, President Irene was also here. He delivered the keynote address, and President and Elder Holland, now who was president then of BYU. And you will notice some former BYU Hawaii CCH presidents also in that picture. They were here in person, so some of the alumni only hear of them, but I got to shake their hands. They each contributed significantly to the development of this school and also this town of Laie.
I gotta say, I think it's safe to say that we're very fortunate here at BYU Hawaii to have church leaders, apostles, and prophets and others come through the school and be able to visit with us, and continues to do so today. So we're very lucky to be able to have that opportunity to see them.
Very fortunate indeed. Yes.
Okay, that's a wonderful story. Thank you for sharing that, Meli. On our next slide here are some of the students that were very dear to you, and these are just such a very small amount of students that you worked through the years, and these are just some that you shared with us from Tonga and the Philippines. So could you
Yes.
share some story about that as well?
Yeah, and these students were special because we set up an internship program with the government of Tonga, and these students went and were placed in the different departments in the government over there. Some of them went to private and industry, also private companies and industry, but the majority of them went to the governments. And they went and updated their records, digitized a lot of the records, and we got so much kudos and thanks and appreciation from the ministers and the permanent secretaries of those departments for the work that these students did. So I bring I was at this time on another assignment. After I had left alumni here, I went back to serve in Fiji for the CES, Church Educational System. And when I came back, I started working with the internship officer. I don't want to brag, but the academic internship office actually started during the time I was there. That's when we got split from the old career advising that Kelly Henneberg and her group used to run, and Brother Sione knew. So when we started that academic internship, I was very fortunate to do that under the direction of Vice President Keith Roberts, and our emphasis was the target area in the South Pacific. Nice. And in Southeast Asia. As you can see there, the other group went to the Philippines. But we worked a lot. I was able to use my connections with alumni in those different areas to help us place the students. Because as you know, many of alumni hold positions of leadership, not just in Tonga and in Fiji and in Samoa, but also now extending to Southeast Asia. So they were able to, the alumni were able to place the students. This was a major undertaking because, as you know, we don't just pay their fare and let them go and say, we'll see you in 2 months, or we'll see you after your internship. A lot of preparation had to be done before they left over here. You know, their classes, those who worked at PCC need to be cleared, you know, their scholarships. And we developed during our time the memorandum of understanding that was signed between the university, which was represented by us, and the student, and also this employment providers, or this employers, so that they will be taken care of. You know, first of all, we needed to keep the integrity of the academic portion of the internship. that they had to be safe, the liability issues, their uh, well-being, where they were going to be housed. So the alumni were a big help in all of those things. They
Right,
did yeoman work for us in getting all those things established.
right. Yeah, they are. They are the key to our recruitment efforts, as well as helping students return back home and be able to go back to their country and serve, as well as gaining employment or moving on to graduate school. So you have done a lot here, and you continue to do so. And this photo shows some of your students from Fiji. Is that right? Was this back in Fiji, or was that here?
That's actually in Fiji. This was part of Career Connect. We do the internship at the front end, and then we connect them to jobs and employment back in their home countries. And as I'm looking at this, I can see some of those faces are back home in Fiji working
Wow.
and serving. And that's the main thing. The key word there is serving, not just
Right.
their families, but society. And in the church, I, yeah, Brother Wesley and I took this group down to Fiji, and I was very fortunate that I was able to do that with this group. There's also something that I wanted to say. Self-reliance is a big program in the church now, as you know.
Yes. Hmm.
It's worldwide. It's a great church program. But we actually tested it. We piloted that program over here through internships. We sent students to Fiji, Tonga, Samoa, New Zealand, Southeast Asia, throughout. Of course, we partnered with the Employment Resource Center in town with Von Logan and his group, and also from the humanities uh, and employment department of the church. One key person that was involved is Sharon Eubank, who most of you know is now in the presidency of the General Relief Society. She came down and we trained those students here before they left. And these were the people that pioneered that program. And I'm glad that it must have been successful because now it is adopted worldwide by the church.
Yes, it went. It's going really well, and it's everywhere. So we're
Yeah.
grateful for the hard work that you folks have done through the years. I'm always very grateful for our folks there in Fiji. When I travel to Fiji, I'm grateful to Brother Taito, Ned Taito, and many others that take us around and be able to work with the students there in the at the school and at church and stakes. And on this picture here shows Brother Wesley there as well as some of the students that you worked with in the past.
Yes, this was a part of that tour, that Career Connect that we did to Fiji. I think we are sitting here in the office of uh, the Minister of Education in Fiji, and we had a great visit with him. We also went and visited the administration of the University of the South Pacific, and as I said, they were very interested in our students. I I have to mention that this was a win-win situation. Actually, it was great for the university from the standpoint of employment relations and public relations in general. It was important for the students because it would help them with their employment opportunities and career opportunities later on. But the employers were very happy to have our students. I heard that almost everywhere I went, your students, we love them. They're clean cut, they're smart, and they speak English well. and
Yeah.
but uh, we have a great product here in our students. We just need to show it. We just need to make them be able to market themselves out there.
That's right. You're right about that, Meli. When I travel to the Pacific, to Samoa and Tonga and Fiji and New Zealand, I hear a lot of good stories from employers, from from our alumni who are supervising some of our students. They're really impressed at how they are on time, they're ready to work, and we gotta tip our hat to our brothers and sisters at the Polynesian Cultural Center and here at the university for preparing them not only for their academics but good work ethics as they go back home and be able to be employed.
Eddie, one of them made a comment to me, said, the other thing, this is after one or two batches of interns had been through this one organization. He said, they have so many strengths, but you know what is always something that I like? I don't have to worry about them on Mondays. They always show up here sober and on time. And that is one of the blessings of our students over here, because they don't party hard on weekends.
Oh, that's good. That's good to know. Well, we've got I think one more slide left, but before we do that, I'm going to take a little pause here for a second. And Meli, you have done so much for the university here. You've done so much for our community, our Fijian students.
Well, I try. Somebody who has been through what I had, has to do something. Because, I really do feel that I'm here through no accident, that I have some work to do. And I really believe that I needed to contribute. I'm not back in my home country helping over there, although I've served my time over there, as they say. But I'm able to help them in other ways over here at BYU Hawaii. Both in alumni, in career services and internships, and in the honor code where I also served. We didn't talk about that, but some of our alumni will remember me more from my service in the honor code. But they know that I did what I did, and every day I come to work is to show love to them, and that whatever I do was meant to help them.
Well, you and your family, your beautiful family and extended family, have done so much. So right now, Meli, we have some very good-looking people waiting to say hello to you. So we're going to bring them on. And
wow, I can see my grandson all the way from Kaneohe. I see. Okay, that's my daughter. Oh, and my son, Reed.
Yes.
Joining us from Palo Alto in the Bay Area. Yes. I just found out this morning that Reed had traveled there from Wyoming, where he lives. So I'm glad to see them, and glad to see my eternal companion and my number one supporter and cheerleader, Irene. She actually just walks upstairs from here. And that's Manasa, my brand new grandson from Kaneohe. Well, he's not brand new anymore. He's 3 months old now. But he's there with his mom, Karen. Some of you remember her as Karen Coons. We have gladly accepted her into the Lesuma family. And she is also a faculty over here at BYU Hawaii in the English department.
So we're going to give them a couple of minutes, Meli. You can rest and let the others share some thoughts about you. So we're going to start with your lovely wife, Irene, and then we'll have Karen say a few words.
I did not know this was planned or this was coming, but I worry now that you have opened the mic to them.
It's all good.
Oh, good.
Go ahead, Irene.
I just want to say that you've done a great job, dear. And
thank you.
And we love you very much, and we're proud of you and all the accomplishments that you've done so far. And there's more for you to do.
Yep, that's right. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you for
Thank
your
you.
vote of confidence, dear.
Karen?
Dad, we're so lucky to have you in our lives. We're especially proud of your hard work and your faith. It's something that I've always been really impressed by. And I'm so grateful that Manasa gets to grow up with such a wonderful example to look up to.
Thank you very much, Karen. Thank you.
All right. Jan and Reed? Oh, we can't hear you.
By the way, as we're trying to fix that, Reed is with his family in Star Valley in Wyoming, but he's joining Jen this weekend in Palo Alto.
Okay.
Okay, they are on mute.
Can you unmute, Jan?
Well, this gives me a chance. Maybe I can say something. Jen followed my footsteps here, and she also became a student body president a little bit later. And she worked with Lay in LDSP over here. And when they closed that office, she was very fortunate to get a job at Stanford University, where she now works with the Hoover Institute.
Right. We're very proud of Jan and all. Okay, we can hear you. Oh, no. Sorry, we still can't hear you.
But if our folks, our alumni from wherever are tuning in, I just want to tell them I love them and pray the best for them. And please, let's not forget the Lord, in what we do. I am a late bloomer. I started late. I joined the church late. I went on my mission late, just before the cutoff. I probably married late too, and came to school. But I know that the Lord gives us second chances, and third chances, and fourth chances. So wherever you are listening, if things need to be fixed or need to be recharged or reinvigorated, the Lord is there to help and support you, as the scripture teaches us that I shared. We just need to ask Heavenly Father in Jesus' name. And if it is expedient, the following verse in 64 says that if it is expedient, it will be delivered to us, or it will be, we will be blessed.
That's right. It's totally true. Jan, are you guys able to? If not, you can just chat. If you want to put something on the chat for your dad, that would be wonderful. So
Okay.
it's so nice to see your wife Irene and your family here, and sorry, Meli, we couldn't put all of the Lesumas because there's not enough room on the screen. But
well, the good thing is this is a family of alumni over here. We believe in this place a lot. We believe that this is sacred grounds we are sitting on here in Laie. And we don't know where we will end up, but we will always love Laie. And thank you once again, friends who are tuning in. I see the names keep adding, keep increasing on the right over here. Thank you all very much for your love, and I sure enjoy chatting with you this afternoon. And best of luck, and may God bless you.
Well, we're gonna go ahead and finish off, and if the Lesuma family, if you can just stay on, we'll we'll bring you in afterwards. But Meli, let's go ahead and just do one more slide, if that's okay with you, and then we'll close it off. Is that okay?
That's fine. That's great. Yeah.
So this last photo, let's see, of your parents and you and Irene. Tell us a little bit about your mom and dad.
Oh, they were the greatest. I'm sure many of us would say about our parents. This is a very special photo. I think the only photo that was taken that I know of before they both died. My mother died earlier from breast cancer, and my dad with complications with the heart. And I love my parents. They were great teachers. Uh, uh, Once they joined the church, they embraced it. My dad used to be a lay preacher in another church, but when he joined the church and was asked to lead the church in the village they were at, he did not hesitate. He received some unkind words and reactions from some of the people in the village. But he never looked back. I'm also grateful to my mom. She was the best. I'm the oldest in the family of 7. And so she and I worked and uh, related really, really well together. And she had taught me a lot of the things that I have learned that has sustained me throughout my life, such as prayer. So we never went to bed at night without saying a prayer and saying a verse of scripture. And I credit that all to her.
Well, that's wonderful, Meli. If your mom was alive today, I know she has seen and all the things, the goodness that you have done. But if she was alive today, what would she say about you, Meli?
Oh, there is a letter that she wrote to me when she was very sick and she was close to her death. She told me, "I am so proud of you and happy for what you have done for yourself, your family, and for the Lesuma family," because I was the first in our family to join the church. Shortly after I joined, then the missionaries went to Taveuni, and they taught them the discussions, and they also joined the church. So I think she would be happy. Of course, there's no perfect son, but I'm sure that behind that all, she's very happy and proud of what I've turned out to be.
Well, thank you so much, Meli. We want to thank you and Irene and your family. Irene has done so much for the university and continues to be here with us. And we're grateful for her service and the things that she has done. We're grateful to you. I know you're retired back in 2016, and you are a mean golfer, and I witness that every time we go out and play. And grateful for our company and as well as the influence that you've brought to the Fijian community here in not only Laie, but in other places. So we're grateful to you and others to support our students and our alumni back home in Fiji and our students here that are currently going to school and getting ready to go home when they're done. So I just wanted to thank you for your time today, and I appreciate all of the stories, the testimonies, and again, all of the hard work that you've done here at BYU Hawaii that some of us are enjoying now and following in your footsteps and doing the work in the alumni and internships and many other things that you've started here. So
Thank you very much, Eddie. It's my honor to be here today, and I totally I love the opportunity to be able to reconnect once more with our alumni. And just that last thing about Irene, I cannot thank her enough for what she means to my life and also to my family. And thank you so much for the opportunity to be here this afternoon.
Well, thank you again. So if you want to just sit tight right there where you're at, I'm just going to finish us off with a few more reminders and announcements, and then we'll sign off for today. Again, thank you to all of our CCH and BYU Hawaii alumni, friends of alumni, and our students for joining us with this wonderful podcast we had today with Brother Meli Lesuma. Just as a reminder for those of you in Utah, if you want to join us for our alumni gathering there on the 18th of September at 6 p.m., it's actually at Sky Ridge High School, not Highland. Okay, it's at Sky Ridge High School. So we'll be over there and we'll continue to send out the flyer. Also, continue to share with us this time. We have our guest next week, Friday. We have Chad Ford, Associate Professor, David O. McKay Center of Intercultural Understanding, will be our guest. And we also have our Mentoring Mondays that is conducted by our students. Next week, Monday is a holiday, but the following Monday, which is September 13th, we'll have Brother Johnny Leota, our Welfare Self-Reliance Manager from Australia. They'll be joining us during that particular podcast. So thank you all once again for joining us today. Have a wonderful weekend. And from all of us here at BYU Hawaii Laie, aloha.
Aloha. Thank you very much.